Okay, everybody, welcome to today's Day Traders versus Midweek Review for October 29th, 2025. Today, we're going to go over all of the indices, the news. We had the Fed rate released today. We did get a lower rate. We dropped down to 4% on the interest rate. They dropped it by 0.25 basis points. And the market overall was indecisive. We had a strong move up, then a strong move back down, and then kind of settled. Dollar got stronger. We um, we had some great options, the options plays for this week. We pretty much scaled out of all of our NVIDIA setups for the week. We still in Neo, still in Grab. That Nvidia play was over 300% on some of the plays. So we'll definitely I got a list of companies that I want to look at for moving forward. So we'll start with the news. The news for today, again, like I said, Powell, he they dropped they lowered the interest rate from 4.25 to 4%. This means that this increases this decreases the borrowing requirements for all loans, right? So you have your car loans, the interest rate should go down on car loans, interest rate should go down on home loans, uh, the interest rate should go down on personal loans, business loans, and the requirements for those. Like, maybe you needed yesterday, you may have needed, let's just say a 720, but now you may only need a 675 on your credit score, or they may be okay with offering the person who normally would only have a $10,000 credit line, but now they'll give him an extra 5,000 on the credit line. So you know that's to entice people to spend more money. That's basically why this interest rate is important, because typically when interest rates and borrowing requirements are lean, we tend to have less money flowing into the market, right? And then we hear this term now, quantitative tightening, meaning in a general sense, is basically they're about to start printing money. That's basically what they're going to be doing. So we'll hear that going around probably throughout the end of the year. Things we got to look forward to um, for the rest of the week. We have no news on Thursday, but we do have earnings. We have nothing on Friday. The news will be led by earnings reports. Um, we had Meta, Microsoft, Alphabet, Chipotle. They all reported after hours. We have Verizon. We had PayPal, SoFi. Let's look at some of these, man. One that's important to me in particular. Let's check out. Um, we'll come back to NVIDIA. Just want to grab another chart. We will come back to that. Okay, so we had SoFi. Let's look at SoFi. SoFi is one that I've traded a few times before. Looks like we made a new all-time high. Their earnings came out yesterday. They beat earnings. They had a estimate of 0.083. Surprise beat by 027. The estimate was 888.91, reported 949.63. So they beat it by 60 mil. So that's where this good news came from. We gapped. We started gapping as we got into this daily fair value gap to the downside, and we traded through it, and we basically followed this blue move right here. See, we pushed up above this where we should have been selling. We held inside of it. Then we came back, used it, and then we just pushed up above. So um this all-time high. So because it's an all-time high, all this is new territory. We're in the 30s. You got to assume that we'll try to get to 40, 35 and 40 eventually. So we still, it may be, it's running right now. This is when I'm going to look for some setups on. Um, or if we sell off from this high, like I want to see us pull back before we get an actual setup off of it. Like we left liquidity here, here, and here, right up underneath this. So these will give us a good level to try to get a new setup from near these highs, even if it's just a short term. Because we also have this gap area right here. Now, normally, we see a gap here, we see a gap here, and a gap here. We can kind of chalk all that up and just combine that where we trade this whole range, right? Because that's pretty much just a continuation of the move up. And we've kind of already traded to the middle of it on this candle right here. So I would still say we might have some business that we still need to take care of or look at right around 29.54. So I'm gonna just say we challenge this high again. I don't know if we even need that. I'll just leave that for later. We challenge this high again. Worst case scenario, we do come down, trade back into this range and below. I don't see it yet, especially with the earnings report. Then another worst case scenario is we come back into this range. Don't see it yet, but we gotta anticipate both sides of the market. Then on the upside, maybe we come back into the gap. Maybe we did get a sell-off today. That's due to the rate release. Maybe we do come down into this lower half um of this range, the lower half of the range. Let's add that level. You'll see the lower half of that range is 28.81 to 28.08. Maybe we come back down inside this range, and then we can see if we can get a bounce off of it from there. So that's the other place I'll be looking for it to come into. Still like 35 as the intermediate target. Like this overall to go to the upside. Worst case scenario, anywhere inside of this move down, we could get a bounce. But the high probability area is 28.81 to 28.08. If crap just hit the fan, we come down into this level, where we get a tap off of this gap after we take some of this liquidity out. And then another area is down inside of this 23 area, but I'm gonna leave that alone for now. We'll come back and revisit that. Either way, if we get a bounce off of any one of these levels, I see us that still being the run up to go to 35. So I will come back with some contracts. I don't know which contracts I want to trade yet, but this is what I'll be looking for. This is going to be probably take us into, the next couple weeks as to see how we play out on SOFI. So SOFI is here. I'm gonna drop this. Let me copy the link on this, drop it in the chat. And
I still need to decide, right, for which date and which price we are looking for. Sorry,
yeah,
price is 35, but contracts.
yeah, I don't know what contract I want to trade on this one.
Got it.
I still gotta look at that. And let me get the other ones that I want to look at. So we're going to look at these again. I don't have the contract on any of these yet, so I'm gonna just give the charts on these, and then once I get the charts on them, we'll go ahead and get the setups for them. So this one's Path. Let me see what kind of company this is. This is a technology software. What do they do? Let me go to more info on this one. They got a analyst rating of neutral, software platform, business, automate business processes. Okay. They have a technical rating of a buy. They are positive over the last week, month, 3 months, 6 month, year to date, and over the last year. So all these are good signs. Um, Revenue, net income, net margins, they all going in the right direction. Let's look at annual. They missed on this one. That year, overall income, revenue. Okay, that's not looking great. They have earnings in 36 days, earnings on the 4th. So yeah, I like this kind of setup. This is a good setup for earnings, right? We have a high right here. This on the daily chart. Let's go to the monthly right quick. See where we at. So I looked at these guys before. Oh, I didn't even remember. All right. So, oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I remember. I didn't like this at first. I still really don't, but okay. So in the monthly, we took out this high. That monthly high got taken out this month, and a couple weeks ago, we took out this 1593 high on this week, first week of October. And then now we're kind of holding near this high, right? So with us holding near this high, we traded all the way up to the high of this fair value gap. And now we're pretty much holding in between the middle and the high of this fair value gap. So 15.59 and 18.49. And let's put the middle, let's put the upper quadrant there. We don't need the lower one. The upper quadrant is 1704. And you can see we put the body of this right around there, right around the middle. The close on this candle was right around the upper quadrant, right? So we still like consolidating though, right? We made the high, we set a higher low, but I'm liking this gap right here if we get a retracement. I like to see a low and a gap or a fair value gap. I love to see that set up because a lot of times what they'll do is they will take this low just to come into this area and then push up from there. I love seeing that play. I really, really like seeing that. So we're going to look at this weekly price gap. It's on the weekly. This is the one we want to see get reacted to. And we got this. This is that low that I was referring to. It's the weekly low. The weekly low is 1470. Now, do we have to come to that? We don't actually have to. We don't have to, but that'll put us in high probability. Um, the probability is higher if we come down and sweep this, come into this range, and then we push up from here. And then I'll be looking for us to at least tap to that 20 level. 20. That's the next whole number. So I know if we come down, we also have this fair value gap right here. And then we have this gap right here. They're overlapping. Like this gap is being maintained right now, even though we have traded below it. This gap right here. Right. We gapped up right here, made a high, came back into it. And even though we traded outside of it, we managed to close back inside of it on this candle. So that means it's still valid. So we can still be using this. And we got this fair value gap that's right here too. So we can still be using this. This is okay. It's okay that it's not like that we traded through it. It's okay. Like sometimes that happen where you get price trade below it, but it just don't keep selling, right? That or buying or whatever the case is. That's okay. Because of the fact that we got price to close back inside. Once we got this candle right here, it opened and closed back above this gap right here. So that's still valid. This on the daily. And so now we want to see if we can hold inside of this range, we can move up from here. Still looking at that $20 price point. Or we could also just gap straight up. That's always a possibility. I like to always, make sure that that's considered. The other situation is like I said, we just go ahead. Now, a shorter term situation is this as well. Like, we go ahead and close below. We start to trade below, and then we use this same area to sell off to get to get to this area down here. Right? That's another scenario. That's what the selling scenario would look like, right? But we are bullish on this still for now. So we still have this sale set up where one, we could just go straight now, right? That's always a possibility. There's always that possibility. That's why I like to make sure that I let you guys see that that's a possibility. Then the other possibility is we sell off, we take this low out, and then we come back into this range again. But now, because we've sold off from there, we use this to sell off to go lower, right? Either way, if we get into this range where we get to the high, where it's 14, 17, the midpoint, which is the monthly open price, which is always a draw of 1354 down to the yearly opening price, which is 1290. I still think we can get a bounce out of this range, right? So that's where this red upside looks like. That's why we got that. So this is what I'm liking on path. $20 is the target on that. $20. Um $20 price target for the short term. We could definitely go higher, but for now, and again, we'll look at what we think the contract should be. I'll need to spend a little more time to get the contract. And what I want us to do on these plays, uh, I was listening in on and this just so happened to be on YouTube, not on YouTube, but on Instagram. One of the guys for Earn Your Leisure, he posted something, and I was like, you know what? I totally agree with that, right? And it was basically in the line of layering your positions, right? So again, and I've talked about it before, but I just like the way he explained it, right? If we consider this to be a strong company, right? And we think, all right, we do expect it to go to the $20 target. And we may even expect it to go to 25, right? So the way we should actually move into these positions is again scaling into them, you know, as we get to our price points, hey, we buy some at 15. If we come down here, we buy some at 14. We come down here, we buy some at 13. And then as we move up, as our $13 contracts get into profit and we up 100%, take out the cost of the trade here. As we get to this $14 contract and we get in profit, once we up 100%, take out the cost of the trade, right? Don't take out the whole position. Just take out the cost of the trade. So like if we find if we find a strike price that gives us a $44 trade, right? Where if we lose this trade, we lose $44. Once we up 100%, just take the $44 out, and maybe we get two contracts at each point, right? So that way we can take one out, leave one in. Take one out, leave one in. Take one out, leave one in. So as we go into profit, we just playing with house money at that point. And we not actually using our own money anymore. Because after we get in profit, we just taking out the cost of the trade. And we can talk about that more later, but that's kind of what I would want us to kind of do.
Okay.
For
Okay. Sure.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
Okay.
You got it right.
All right, so this is path, and let me grab this. That's path. The next one I'm gonna look at L FSLY. FSLY. All right. Look, this one is kind of already ran, but it's time to come back to you. I was expecting this to take out tap to this yearly. I'm not quite. Let me just. I don't know if I like him yet because this is kind of still sideways right now. We got this gap on monthly, I think. Nope, it's on the daily. Yeah, it's on the daily. And we sitting like right around this low of the gap. And we need to add the lower half. Let's add the lower half. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna leave that blue just to make sure we know just the lower half. So we kind of like sitting in between the halfway point of this lower quadrant between the middle and the low. That's what this the PG stands for price gap. The M stands for middle, the L stands for low, the H stands for high. So we in the middle of we're hanging out in between the middle and the low of the price gap. But even in the middle and the low, we could break that down to another half again. So we between this 843 to 797 area, and we kind of been playing between the upper portion of the lower quadrant and the midpoint and the low, right? So first we were up here between this lower quadrant and the middle. Then we broke down, and now we trading between the lower quadrant and the low, and we just kind of like sitting there, right? So there is a strong little price gap on the daily as well that we also got some a little area of support as well. That's over here between these areas right here. So I'm kind of like indifferent on this. I don't really. I think as long as we hold inside here like we are, the more we hold in this, the more of a probability that it goes higher, right? If we start seeing like we do right now, where we starting to see price start closing outside of this, like this candle, if we start seeing more candles close outside of this and can't get back inside of this, then I'll say, hey, we want to look for some sales. But right now, I don't really have a strong opinion about this. This has been ranging, but they do have earnings. Earnings on November the 5th. So this one is going to be a potential earnings play. So if we do get into this, right, you can see we got the monthly low right here. It's the low for the month. This price point right here. We got a gap that got traded through, and we got an order block. It's our order block right here. So if we do sneak outside of this, right, we do sneak outside of this, as long as we don't close below 730, I'll still say this is bullish because if we do sell off, come into this order block, which we really, let me just dice this up right quick. This order block, and we got these levels of the order block, right? As long as we stay above that, I'll look to still kind of buy on this, right? And we could go as low as 36. But again, I would want to see us at least take these two highs out. And that'll put us back in the middle. So let's just say this high. And then if we take this high out, we can start worrying about these $9 highs. But we kind of just been ranging on this. And this earnings is a catalyst for it to get outside of this stuff. But we kind of need some direction, right? We don't have any real direction right now because it's just going up and down inside of this lower quadrant, right? But if we do, I'm okay with us trading off. So if we come down, if we just hold this, we push up and we take out this high, right? If we come down, we could come down right at this order block, or we could get a deeper run into the order block, and then we can still come up and look at taking out this high from the previous day. So and you know, that's how I'll look at that. If we start to get some holes around $8, then I think we go ahead and get back above 843. This is Fastly. And Fastly is a tech company. They're in the sale. Technicals say sell. The analysts have a neutral rating, which lead me to believe we could run deeper. The technicals say sell. The analysts are neutral. That's part of the reason why we just been we made these highs and we just been consolidating. But they beat earnings last time. They beat earnings, and we'll just have to keep watching this. We'll watch this one, see how we play out. So let me drop this one. Fastly. The next one, and these are all option plays. I'm gonna do the indices last and gold and indices last. One you might be familiar with. This is CHWY. They're not a meme stock, but I mean this one I am not really. I remember when my boy told me to look at this, and I don't really have an opinion on this one. I don't really have an opinion on this one. This one, because I'm not into selling the market with my options right now. Like I will get to the point where I'm where I short options, but I don't. I think that that'll come later. I don't see. I like taking my option plays to the long side only right now. Um, there's liquidity here, but not. I think we could possibly. fall into tagging this. We already took this out. We trading below the yearly right now. That's why that's at risk. And then this is, like I told you, I like to see lows sitting above or below gaps. This is a weekly gap, a weekly fair value gap. We got lows sitting right above it, and we just took it out. So, and then there's also order block inside of this as well. Look at the monthly right quick. Monthly. Yeah, I like this even more to the downside. So a lot of this is telling me this is going further down. A lot of this is telling me this, and see, this another thing, right? We about to close this month out. This monthly candle is so big to the downside. I don't see us coming back to trade higher on this, right? When you get a big bearish candle or a bullish candle like this, the next candle on the next month is probably going to wick somewhere halfway in between the bottom of the candle and the midway point. So the wick will probably be somewhere around this 35 point. So going into November, the November candle high should be somewhere around here, somewhere around 36 to 33. And then that is in line with us taking out this 29 low and trading into this 28 to 27 price point. So I don't want to touch this right now, but I'll mark it up anyway. I don't really have anything for this for the bullish on the bullish side. Nothing for the bulls down here until we see some support. Because right now we got almost 30 days of sell off. With the out of these past 29 days, we only had three updates on this. So this was the monthly open right here. The only day that was a positive day was this day, this day, and this day. So I don't see no signs, even with the earnings coming up. So if we do sell off, we could look for it to hold inside of this order block over here and then push up. But I still see us selling off. Best case scenario, we get about 50% from this high to whatever low we make. We push up, and then we see something along the lines of a move back to the upside. Not liking it though. Not liking it. Because overall, I think we go down here and take this liquidity that's right here, trade into this, and then we start seeing moves up. So, but you know, just in case, we could just be pushing up to close above the yearly and the weekly and still get half of this move back. But that still put us right around halfway here. If we sell off and we get a bounce off the order block, that'll put us right around here. Worst case scenario, right around here. And then the next case is we bounce off of somewhere between 28 and 27 to push up higher off of this weekly fair value gap. between 28 and 27. But by that time, we would have taken this, and then we should have a better understanding of what they plan on doing. So, and then below this is a very strong low, but not really messing with this right now. This one can kick rocks for now. CHWY. If I was shorting now, if I was shorting, I would be shorting this, right? But I'm not doing, I'm not short in the options just yet. Next one is gonna be JMIA, and JMIA is one that I have made a lot of money off of already. I be in and out of this one. I haven't traded it in a while. I was trading this one all into last year and some into this year. Um, I just kind of forgot about it. I hate that I did because that was still some good moves to be had. So this one's still kind of in line, right? Take the high. If we take the high, we hold into this. Don't got to do a lot of marking up on this because it's still holding strong to the upside. This price gap still in play. We just got to add a little bit more information. All right. So, with that being said, we have the monthly low right here that has held. But if we come back down, that'll be something we need to pay attention to. The monthly low, right? The monthly high is here at 13.14. Now, if we keep moving up like we are, this is the high that I want to see us take out first. 13.14. The monthly high. So we got our overall target, right? And if we take this, we'll likely hold and trade off of this as our new support level between 1302 and 1247, right? And then it'll be targeting this previous month high. This previous month high will take us above 15, right? That'll take us above 15. And then we got today's high, right? So if we continue on this path to the upside, right? And you can see we got this gap right here. This is where we trading off of right now. This gap right here. It was a bearish gap, right? But now it's neutral because we traded above it on this candle. We didn't close above it, but we did trade above it. So it's kind of pretty much neutral at this point. So I'm just gonna make this black so we can see it better. So right now we traded out of it, and now we sitting inside of it. I would like to see us hold worst case scenario around $10 and then push up from there. Or we just go ahead and push up from where we are, take out 13, 14, and then we use this area as support to go ahead and take out the previous month high. If we trade a little lower, I want to see us hold this middle to low of this price gap and then push higher. Middle to low. But worst case scenario, we come all the way down and then I'll see. Still want us to target um the previous month high. If by chance we just sell off, we use this gap we just traded out of to take out this low right here, and then we start seeing a sell from this area to go ahead and trade down into this to go lower to take out this low right here. Not going to add that on the chart right now because we still got plenty of time for that. But again, always we got to see both sides of the market because we don't know which side they want to be on. I'll come back with the contract on this one, on all of them. This is JMIA. The next one is DKNG. I have not looked at this one before. DraftKings. You all know about him. DraftKings. DraftKings is down for the year, is down for the month, is down for the week. So let's go to the weekly. Let's go to the monthly. So all-time high was 74. This is my first time looking at this. So what I'm doing now, I'm starting at the monthly. Like, right, where are we on the monthly, right? What are we looking for on the monthly? Right? Where are our points of interest, right? If we're looking for a bullish point of interest is this high right here, right? If we're looking for bearish points of interest, it is these lows right here. We're closest to these lows with this move to the downside right here. We're closest to these lows that are down here. So it's more, the probability is higher that we take out these lows than it is for us to take out these highs. So if that's the case, we look for short side. We look for downside. We look for bearish moves because that's the higher probability. And that's how you set up your trades. You go for the highest probability. Where is the highest probability that I will get the move to the upside or to the downside? And then once you know the probability, you look for trades in that direction. You say, hey, I'm going to look for sales because the probability is we target these lows. That's how you get your trades. That's how you get your setups. And today, at the end of the session, I'm gonna spend like a whole hour, and I'm gonna do like almost like a basic to advanced. So, you old timers like Anna, you don't have to stay on there, but you guys new people, I would definitely suggest you stay on. If you don't have time, you don't have a pen, pad, or a paper, or if you like working right now and you working on some other stuff, I would suggest that you not do that and go ahead and like lock in so you can pay attention. Um and in this case, I don't see the bull I don't see a bull cause, right? I don't see a bull case. I see us pushing lower to take out these lows. Now, we do have earnings on next week. So again, what I'm if we do buy this, right? If we do buy this, which we still can, right? There's underneath this low, which I think we underneath these lows. If hold on, so if you guys are the new guys, if y'all gonna not be on, I'm not gonna do the basic session tonight because I want you guys to be able to ask questions, and I want y'all to have y'all computers open, notes open. If anybody that's not gonna be here, I'm gonna wait to do it. So because I need undivided attention for that. So we can wait and do it on Sunday. Um, so if that's the case, I'll wait and do it on Sunday. But and that's okay with me because that give me a better more time to prep for it. Sunday at 4 o'clock. Yep. So what I'm seeing right now is I do see that we do have this fair value gap on the weekly. We'll just add this in. This fair value gap on the weekly, right? This is on the weekly. This is a bullish fair value gap. And then there is also this one right here, too, that's overlapping that, right? Now, we could be pushing down to take this liquidity and hold inside of that, right? We could be doing that, right? I like this one right here better because we've pretty much already traded through that one. So let's get this one. Because that sits us right in the right here, right? And then we have these lows right here. This is a low from August of 2023, which we have not been at for a while, right? Previous week low. Okay. All right. So again, I think the cause for this is still bearish because if you look again, we got this high and we've been selling off all this time. So even if we do push up, we still got to deal with this area right here. So even if we do push up, this is still going to take something to get through, right? So we stuck right now, right? $28, 328. Okay, so again, of course we can have the move up. I'm gonna say we hit the midway point, right? At least hit the midway, the low to the midway, where we got the low at 36.40, the midway point 39.22. And if you want to look at the half of that, it's 37.90. But let's just say midpoint. That's us pushing up, right? And really, it'll look like something like this, where if we push straight up, we won't push straight up because we're going to have to deal with this order block. But if we do deal with it, we push up off of that order block to get to the middle point. It'll look more along like that because this has to get dealt with. And if it does deal with it, it's going to use it to go higher. All right. Then the other scenario, that's the bullish scenario. The bearish scenario is we just trade down, sweep this low. Then I would look for us to, if we're going to hold, we got this little range right here, and we still got this. We could be holding. I'm still saying we target this level. It's going to have to hold inside of this weekly fair value gap if we want to stay bullish. So in order for me to stay bullish on this, I need to see a move off of 30.52 to 26.65. Where we could come all the I'm okay with us coming outside of this because I would want to see us wick this, take this, and then move up from there, right? But preferably, I want to see us trade down to the middle of this, hold, and then start running up. So I want this to be the sell. So I'm gonna make this red. Then we get a bull move up. But for real, I'm not looking to buy this yet. I don't think this is buyable right now. At least for the moment. All right. So we're going to just sit on this one. This one is one we'll have to come back to. I don't like it for a buy yet. DraftKings here. And then let's get this. So this, no new setups right now on this is all the plays I'm going to be looking at for options coming up, going into the rest of the week, right? And going into next week. Nothing on Nvidia for today. We did again. We took out the all-time high. We gapped up. We hit our $200 target like I figured we would. I will mark this up going into on Sunday because I want to just let this close out. I hope that this gap gets left open so we can use that to go higher. Neo, same thing. I will mark that one up on Sunday. I'm still looking for us to hold inside of this inverted fair value gap. We are positive on the week. This little gap right here, I want to see us use that to go higher. That's kind of the gist of it. No setup on Delta. Delta's done for now. I would rather see us go ahead and take this low out because I want to set up. I like Delta long term, so I want to set up my longer term plays. I want to see us take this out and either come down to here or here so I can get a long term play down at between 54.74, 53.50, or 51.20 to 48.88. So I'll mark that up. I'll get you that. We'll start looking for contract. And in Delta, I want to get 2027 leaps or 2028 leaps. I'm telling you already that on right now. If we can find cheap leaps, that's where I want to look for. Grab, I'm almost ready to close this out. I'm just waiting for the earnings release on the 3rd. Once we get our earnings release, if it's positive, we go ahead and take this high out. I'll probably take profit on that above this 662 high on this. This one isn't a long-term play for me. This one's more of a swing play, earnings play. So I'm not really looking too hard onto that one. I'll give y'all the charts on Sunday. So now we can go into the one other note about the news. This week is daylight savings. So Sunday we fall back. So we lose an hour. So remember that changes up how the markets open on in London and in New York. So we'll have to account for that. Looking at the heat map, we were mostly we were mostly red today. That's kind of interesting. Mostly red, but our heavy hitters were up. Our tech sector was up. So that's what's keeping us high. Let's go into the futures now. All right. So this is dollar. So far, going into dollar, we just kind of been, hanging out around this daily fair value gap to the downside. We have not really moved away from it yet. We tried to sell off, but we traded right back up into. We did take out this high, which is a good sign that we'll be using this to go higher. So let's go ahead and again, like this is what I want to see if we're gonna go higher. I want to see us move some of this stuff out the way. If we're gonna go higher, I want to see us stay inside of this 98.980 range and start to get closes above 99.252. If we start getting closes above that and we take this high out right here, then we'll see this move right here where we go ahead and push up higher. Right? So this is yesterday's, this is the weekly high for now. The weekly high. It's the weekly high. So going into the rest of the week, want to see us hold this 98.980 price level. I don't really want to see us go too much further than that. You also see we got a 4-hour fair value gap to the upside right here. It's a bullish. That should give us some catalyst to hold right here. I'm gonna just extend this out so we ain't laying on top of each other. Right. So as long as we don't close below this, I think we'll still go higher. Um, the low of the week is here. It's the weekly low. And this low inside of this order block, we holding up. We got liquidity right here. We got the weekly opening price right here. That's where this setup comes into play. If we start to sell off, I think we get a heavy sell off. We take out this low. Then we use this range to sell off even lower. This will still, oh dang. This is still our target to the downside where we come back down in here. If it happens. If it happens. And then the upside target is if we do sell off and we hold around here, we still look to aim for the previous month high. We take these highs out. I think these highs are our next target right here. They're right around 99.524, the high of this fair value gap to the downside. That's the next set of highs. But I think mainly I'll be looking for us to hold this level. So for the short term, I'll be looking for us to hold this level. For the short term. And that's for the rest of this week. For the rest of the week, this is what I'll be looking for. For us to hold between 99.101 to 98.945 on dollar. And if we do hold that, that means we continue to sell off on gold. Because gold is in a retracement right now. Gold is retracing. So and that's in response to the up move we got on dollar. So let's look at gold. Gold sold off, been selling off since last Monday. We did set a low here. We tried to trade back up. We started making lower highs, lower high. Then we took out the low. Now we made a lower high, made another lower high, but this was actually a slight higher high on the short term, but we still are making lower lows, lower highs. So we'll have to still look at this to the downside for now. Not to say that this is going to keep pushing, but now we're inside of this fair value gap. Let me go to the daily. 4 hour. This fair value gap from the daily is still valid. This. Okay. Let's see move. This one's still valid right here, right? So we can still consider this. And then we got this low. Let me see what this price is. $32. We got this low. So if we keep selling off, this will be the low that I think these two lows right here will be the low that I think we go after. These two lows right here. This previous week low and this previous day low. These are significant right here. So I think if we keep falling, that'll be what we go after, right? So let's get some of this stuff off the chart right quick. This is our downside move, right? Want to see us hold. If we're going to hold, it needs to happen around this level. And then we can push up for the short term, aim for this high. Right? If we just go straight up and push up, from here, where we are, we still push up, aim for this high. We can get rid of this. We done with this now. This is our current weekly low. Okay, so that's where we'll look for on this. Then we don't need you anymore. I don't have a lot to say about gold. I just want to see these the only two moves that I'm looking for. I think we still got some more downside to go, but I don't want to participate in a sale right now on gold. I rather buy gold for the long on this. So before I really kind of look at gold, I would rather look for the buy on gold. So I'm gonna leave gold alone. I'm gonna leave gold alone for now. But I just want to see how we're gonna react to this fair value gap. If we're gonna push up off of that fair value gap at any point. If so, then we can see. Because right now we about to get ready to tap the monthly. There is this inverted fair value gap too that we could also be trying to trade through, which that's where I've been wanting us to come to. I wanted us to come to that before now, but now we finally getting back to it. So I would like to see us come down to that and try to move back up off of that. And if we do, first target is this high. That's this a previous day high. I think we drying up on the sell side. But if dollar keeps staying strong, we'll go ahead and keep pushing up on this. All right. I don't know, man. Like this is I appreciate y'all for getting on. Sometimes it get discouraging, man, because it's like I be giving up all this my time and effort and nobody end up being on the call really. And it's just like, dang, bro, like I'm out here telling y'all where to make money at. I'm telling people what I'm doing and it's working and just like that's why I'll be going through moments, where I'll do the calls and then sometimes I won't. It's because not a lot of people show up. And I try not to pay attention to that, but it's hard sometimes to not pay attention to it because it's not like I don't know what I'm doing, but nobody still show up. So it's just like I don't know. Maybe it's just a group, you know. I don't know. I guess I can't really pay attention to who don't show up. That's what it is. That's what it is. I won't pay attention to who doesn't show up. I will pay attention to who is on here now.
Maybe the people who's in the group, they are busy with other stuff also,
Yeah,
like job or other things.
yeah, yeah.
And
Uh,
they have other sources also for money, right? So,
yeah.
mm.
Well, we tell you, we greatly appreciate you, brother.
Hey man, all I ask is to show up. That's it. You show up. That's enough for me. So this is Dow. This is Dow. Dow. We had to move our move off of we had a reaction based off of the Fed rate, right? And I think that lowering the rate will eventually get us a strong move. It just looked like it's going to be delayed. And we're just going to be making a new all-time high. Interesting about Dow is Dow did push down almost to the middle of the opening gap. We got a low near 47,534, which is the middle of the gap, the new week gap. So Dow is the only one that actually made it down that far actually, because NQ and ES, they didn't really feel none of their gap. So their gap is open. And I would still like to see them come down into the gap on those two pairs, on NQ and ES, on S&P.
So like
And
this is on 100% right now, right? We are still waiting for 50%, right?
who on which one?
That Dow.
On Dow, yeah. I
This
want,
only comes till this opening of this week, right?
yep,
Uh,
yep.
mm,
Yeah, it didn't come all the way down, and maybe it doesn't feel it completely.
yeah.
Maybe it leave it open partially
Mm-hmm.
because we still didn't come all the way down here, and that's okay. That's all right that it didn't. But I would like for it to, if we before the week over with. But if we don't, we don't. If we do, we do.
Yeah, actually, I was also looking for to fill that gap at least 50%. Means this was good sale from that high, but
Yeah,
the way it did, like no setup for sale.
yeah.
Mhm.
We do got this fair value gap right here on the 4 hour. I mean on the 1 hour, and we got it showing up on the 4 hour too. But it hasn't validated itself on the 4 hour. But what we do have on the 4 hour is we have an inversion right here. This one that was bullish, this gap right here, it was bullish. Now it got traded through. Now it's bearish. So we can look at this to see how it responds to the upside. Now I'm still looking at us moving higher, but for the short term, I would like to see how we react to this range right here. And if you look at the 1 hour, this gap to the downside, you can see is overlapping. So you already know we coming back into that. It's just how we respond to that. So the other thing is we could get a temporary push to the downside off of this range, but I still want to see us stay inside of here. So this will be the other downside move if we go higher. So this is what I'll look for. Either we just go ahead and push up, then use this as support. Let me show you what that'll look like. That'll look like this. From the close of yesterday or today, we just start pushing up. We push up through this, trade above this, and then we try to use this as support to go higher. That's what the up straight up move will look like right here. Because this is a selling area, it would need to validate it. It would need to trade through it and then trade back into it to go higher. Now, if we are just gonna go straight up and go higher, that's what that'll look like. It'll actually be a move similar to this. But if we get in here and we actually sell off, then we'll be looking for it to just sell off to go ahead and hold inside of the new week opening gap. If for some reason we just sell off and then we just decide that we're gonna go ahead and trade below this, then I would be looking for price to come back up inside of the gap. And inside of the gap, we use the gap to trade lower. And we trade back and down into this inverted fair value gap. So that's, and then if we do trade higher, we make a new all-time high. So this is Dow. we got a lot of earnings that closed out the day. Some big companies that closed out today. So we could just be having a delayed reaction, right? These companies that reported today on the close, for the most part, they did good. Meta, I don't think Meta did great. Let me look at Meta. Let me look at Meta because that's one of the Mag 7s. So let's look at Meta. Meta could drag us down, and that's why I want to see Meta. Okay, Meta did okay. Meta did not have good earnings, but they had good revenue. Eh, eh. Microsoft and Alphabet. Let's see what they did. Microsoft. Microsoft beat on both. Beat earnings, beat revenue. Okay, and then what did Google do? Let me make sure I got that right. Google, GOOGL. They beat too. Ooh, they killed, man. So I think this carries us even higher. Dang, missed out on that one. I marked up the wrong chart. Okay, so let me just remember that. All right, so now in Q should look similar, but like I said, the gap, the weekly opening gap, we have not traded into it. I don't even know if we will at this point because we so far away from it. We so far away from it. So when we do that, when we gap up and we don't try to even come into it, I just assume that we gonna save that for another time. And I thought that we would gap like this Sunday into Monday. This Tuesday. Tuesday was the day I thought we would try to come down into it. But and you can see I actually had a setup because I was gonna try to trade while I was at work. try to take this down because I was for sure thinking that we were gonna trade down into it, but I don't think we will at this point. Sorry. I don't think we will at this point. So with that, I think we just keep making new all-time highs on this. So I think that we just continue to push higher. We got this little order block right here. We already traded off of. That's acting as somewhat support for now. And if we do happen to sell off, we need a fair value gap through this low. This is Friday, yesterday's low. I just don't see it at this point because I think we're gonna have a delayed reaction to the earnings because the earnings that got reported for Google and Microsoft and Google, Microsoft, and Meta, they all happen after hours. So we haven't actually got the response that we may be getting from this, right? And if you watch the charts later on, you'll see we closed today on Google at 274.57. Once everything settles, we should be able to see that we get the post market data, and the post market data will give us an idea of how the market reacted after hours. So if you check back around closer to, London, or I mean closer to around New York time, you should get the pre-market data, and you should be able to get the after hours data to see, like, get an idea of what the prices are looking at on that. So if we do sell off, I do want to see us come down to the gap. I just don't see it yet. So we do got to put it on here. I think that we got 26,500 above us. Got 26,600. I think that 26,600 might be our main target for the rest of the week. We will need a little more information. We just kind of, I think if what the upside move looks like is we push up, take out the high, maybe use this little area right here or this wick as support after we take out the high to go higher. So I'm gonna give this chart like this. We don't even need to consider this stuff down here right now. This is the previous day low. We just pushed so hard this week. It's kind of almost like chasing a little bit right now on this. There's a gap right here, fair value gap over here. Maybe, but be careful with chasing this high. That's all I can say. It's not, I normally would not be looking for a setup on this because we've already hit targets extremely higher than what was expected. So I would probably not be chasing stuff this high, but this is just what we got to deal with right now. So I'm gonna just trade very cautiously. Going into the rest of the week, I'm not gonna take on heavy size. I think 10 micros might be the max on any trade that I take the rest of the week. So I'll just kind of look and see what we got, going into next week. And now finally, ES. ES almost came into the weekly opening, almost came into the new week opening gap, and we missed it. We missed it. You see, we made the low from yesterday right here. Yesterday's low, or today's low, however you want to look at it, is here. And then we just pushed up off of it. But you can also see the liquidity we had right here got taken. We traded down into this little range we had on Monday, held at low and then push up. So you can obviously see where the target is. It'll be the all-time high we made on today. So this is the short-term target. I tried again, same thing with ES. I thought we would sell off to try to come into the range, and we didn't. So I was looking for a setup. Like I said, I thought that this candle that we got right here was going to sell us off down into this, but we didn't get it, so no trade on that. No trade on that. So if we sell off, here's the downside move. If we sell off and we do end up below the new week opening gap, I think we use that to go lower to head down into this inverted fair value gap right here. And we'll probably end up trying to bounce off of this area if we do, for some reason, push down here. Right now, I don't see a catalyst at the moment as to why we would come down there. And if we do, I still think this is a move to the upside, and we just target the high we just had. This is what I would be looking for if we anywhere inside of the if we do manage to come down into this, make this red. If we do manage to come down into this, we could buy anywhere between the high or the low. So that's where this is accounting for. Now, if we do come down and we just come halfway, I think we wick this, push up. I don't see it yet, but at least for now. And then the last move is if we just go ahead and push up higher. If we go ahead and push up higher, you know where this 69.90 price point is. I just mentioned that to everybody in the group. 69.90, the 90 area is always something to consider. And if we do trade up, it'll look more along the lines where we use this as an order block, probably. I don't want to write it right. I don't want to mark it on the chart right now, but this body, this candle, and this candle are the last down move, the most prominent down move. If we trade and close above this, this will be an order block. And there's probably on the lower time frame, we can already see there's a small fair value gap here. We tried to sell from it here. We weren't able to sell off from there. So this will be inversion right here. So we'll probably get a move to the upside. You can already see there's a fair value gap. So we already got our inversion fair value gap set up right here. And that's on the 30-minute. You can already see we got bullish inversion on the upside. To continue this to go higher, you probably see it even more prominent on the 15-minute. No, actually, the one 30-minute look is like, is it 5-minute chart? You see fair value gap to the downside. We tried to sell here. We even came to the high of the fair value gap. We tried to sell here. We validated that we were going to be buying inside of this once we held right here. And now we starting to see gaps to the upside. Gaps to the upside. So now this has been violated. And now this is, once was sell, is now buy. You can see it on the 30-minute, the cleanest invert bearish gap. It gets inverted on this candle. This candle is bullish order block. I mean, bullish fair value gap. And now we trying to buy off of it. So I'm going to just put it here. Here's the 1 hour. We don't really need to go any lower than this because this is the range. The range is so expanded. For now, $6.90 price point is what we'll look for. $6.90, $69.90 price point, and this is S&P. Copy link. All right, cool. So, like I said, I was gonna make this session a tutorial session from like a basics to advanced session, but I want to wait till we got more people on, and that'll give me some time to prep for it. So I guess that I'll leave the rest of the session for just Q&A. If you guys got any questions or anything like that, you can shoot them now.
I'm good with indices. I wanted to tell, like, I added, means I got in grab yesterday.
Okay.
So I took 10, for 14, 11, 14.
At the $10 strike.
And I got 25.
What was the strike?
Sorry, 6.5.
Okay, you got 650 strike,
Yeah,
25 cents.
25.
Okay, that look like it's gonna play out.
Yeah, and one I got for $7 for $14.
On which one?
7. Strike price is 7.
$7.
Same.
Oh,
The
so you got the
expiry is
six
same.
and a half,
And
six
upper one. Yeah.
cents
Yeah.
at 15,
14. 14.
14 cents.
Yeah. 14. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you might be eating with those, man.
Yeah.
I
I,
like I like how it's a lot of volume at 650.
yeah. So yesterday it was going downward, so there was gap. So I was expecting, like, when it touched that gap, then I got in.
Yeah.
So
That's a good sign actually.
mm-hmm.
So even if they miss, I still think they run this high.
Yeah, equal high, right?
Yeah, I still think they'll run that high. So
Mhm.
because that 650 is right here.
Yeah.
So I think even if it's a miss, they
Mm-hmm.
want to take all of that money off of 650.
Mm-hmm.
I think they want to take all of that volume off of 650 and then do whatever it happens after that. If it's good, it'll keep pushing. We'll find some new buyers above 650 to go ahead and take us to 662 up to 735 for sure.
7:35. Okay.
Yeah, that's the low of this monthly fair value.
Yeah. Fair value gap. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shoot, I might go in and add some on that 650. Let me go ahead and put the order in now.
Actually, yes, today I was thinking, like, because this was 7:35, I saw that too. So I was thinking, okay, means I can take for 8 or 9, right? If that is in good price. But
Yeah,
obviously, this is in good price.
yeah. This is
But after today was that Fed rate cut, right? So I thought maybe it can change the situation. So
yeah.
I should wait till tomorrow morning.
Yeah. I think you did. You man, let me keep me posted on that one because
Yeah, sure.
I actually might be getting in on that one too.
Uh-huh. But really, NVIDIA did very good. Means today, as you are talking about layering, right? So it didn't hit my mind. So I should have done like that. but yeah, but whatever, I took good profit.
Yeah, you did good. You
Hmm.
did good. And you closed out your Nvidia options, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nvidia, man, it ate, man.
Means today, yeah, when it got open, it was like means I was watching before that, so that was like a opening is at 208, right? So I was like,
Yeah.
oh God, I should have
Man,
keep it.
we should have piled on it when it was inside of this gap right here.
Uh-huh.
We should have piled on. Like I didn't go as heavy as I should have on the
Uh, okay.
I'm not mad at myself because did good on it, but
Mhm.
we should have added heavier position on here.
Yeah, I means I got in at 180, right? For a one
Mhm.
last week. I got in at 180 for 185.
Yeah.
So that was very good. And after that, I got for 200. So that was all that played good also. So, but thing was that like I didn't thought about like I should do
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, we should have went a little heavier on this one.
Yeah, yeah. It was.
Because it was also that news that
Mhm.
Palantir and OpenAI.
Yeah, yesterday, right?
That news the other day made
Mm-hmm.
the earnings. I mean, it made the move even stronger.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was before earnings, and I didn't even mean to close out.
Yeah, actually, before that, the way it was doing consolidation, where we got in, so
Yeah,
maybe I have never done this NVIDIA, so I thought maybe this is too far. So means it will not move like that, but yeah, it did really good.
yeah, yeah. What I noticed now on
Hmm.
video right now is,
Hmm.
you know, I didn't even have a chance to put in, like, I put the pending order in
Hmm.
NVIDIA,
Hmm.
thinking that it would take earnings for us to get to that.
Okay.
And this move right here on
Hmm.
yesterday, it
Hmm.
killed it. So
Okay.
I didn't even have to worry about
Right, right.
the earnings or whatnot because it had already taken it.
Yeah.
So for really on Nvidia at this point,
Hmm.
I gotta have a pullback.
Hmm.
I gotta have a pullback on Nvidia,
Yeah.
or I'm looking to get into any new positions.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely, I'll think about that also. And this time, I'm going to do like layering, as you said.
yeah,
Mhm. And that news also on good place means although I am in negative, but because that is for higher time frame, so I'll go.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm gonna mark this one up over the weekend though.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
This one, I'm because we already closed this one out. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Mm-hmm.
Neo, yeah, I just wanna see us close above this 730 to 721 price point.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, yep. So and then the all of the option plays that I went over earlier, I'll be looking for the entry, the contracts on those. So
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I'll work on this also because few were very new for me also. So I'll
Uh,
go and check the chart and mark up my chart.
yeah. Let me know if
Mm.
you see any good contract prices as well.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, let me know.
Hmm.
But all right, y'all. I'm gonna hop off, man. I'm gonna put this up on as soon as the recording get done, and then I'll drop all the charts in the group. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Hmm. Thank you so much.
All right.
Good night.
Peace out.
Hey, good night, y'all.
All right.